Thanks, Mom. Braden Bennett.
Growing up as the second of four boys, you can imagine we fought a lot over a lot of things, but mostly just for the sake of it. So it's not hard to imagine that going to church, the fighting didn't just magically stop. When I was 9 or 10 on a memorable Sunday, my older brother Andrew and I were sitting in the pew picking at each other and harassing each other. My mom had a rule to keep some semblance of order. Every Sunday night, we would get 3 scoops of ice cream. Starting in the morning, we had those scoops, and if we behaved well at church, we would get that full treat at the end of the day. But if we were misbehaving, out would come her fingers, and the scoop subtraction would begin. Well, that Sunday, as my brother and I were harassing each other, my mom had to resort to the infamous, "You get over here and sit on this side and separate yourselves." Well, alas, her intervention was short-lived. As I sulkily moved past my brother, his toe came out just at the right minute, and bam, I went down hard on my face. I mean, what was I supposed to do? So I got up right there in the front of the church, the congregation watching. You can just imagine in your mind my mom's fingers going from 3 to 0 just like that. Fellow Toastmasters, friends, guests, being a mother of 4 boys can be hard. But my speech today is not just directed to mothers, but to mothers of 4, but to mothers who have given birth, who have adopted, or without children. I want to pay respect here at this Mother's Day season to women, all women, who make good choices and influence this world for good. Your generosity, perspective, patience, and persistence, along with your leadership to make good, hard choices in these hard times, has blessed the world. I'm super grateful for my mother and all that she's done for me, and I'm grateful for women all around the world. In 1896, Martha Hughes Cannon was made history. This Welsh immigrant was the first woman to be elected to a US state Senate role. This was 24 years before women could vote in US federal elections. Martha won as the Democratic candidate in the newly admitted state of Utah. She beat many other male candidates, including her own husband, who was the Republican candidate. At 39 years old, when she was elected, this mother of 3 had already become a medical doctor from the University of Michigan at age 22. And then she continued to study pharmaceuticals at the University of Pennsylvania, where she was the only woman in the class of 75. Martha was not only just a mom and a doctor, she was also an active suffragist vying for women's voting rights. She said, "Education, freedom, and purpose give women power." She is quoted as saying, "You give me a woman who thinks of something more than cook stoves, wash tubs, and baby flannels, and I'll show you 9 times out of 10 a successful mother." Martha has made the world a better place through her persistent action, individually as a mother and a doctor, and to women and her state as whole as a suffragist and as a politician. Of course, there are so many examples of women around the world that have made a great difference. But we wouldn't be here today without the women in our own family lineage who I'm grateful suffered and sacrificed much for our own benefit. In 1883, Susanna Hershey, my 3rd great-grandmother, had to make a hard decision. She was facing religious persecution in her native Bern, Switzerland. She and her 8 children wanted to immigrate to America, where they hoped they would experience freedoms that just weren't available in Europe at that time. Susanna's husband, Jacob, refused to participate in this, even not disallowing his older grown children to emigrate, saying he would not give even a penny to their trips. After several more years and a disintegrating marriage, Susanna finally made the decision to emigrate with her children alone to the United States, having virtually nothing and no secure source of income when they arrived. Finally, she made the brave choice and courageous choice to emigrate alone. They settled in Montpelier, Idaho, with other dirt poor Swiss immigrants. I am so grateful for Susanna for making that hard choice. It has blessed my life and her children and grandchildren's lives in ways that she could not have imagined. Marion Pearson, the wife of past Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson, said, "Behind every successful man, there's a surprised woman." I believe that's true. Mothers, grandmothers, daughters, sisters, wives, nieces, cousins, friends, we need your perspective, gifts, and power now more than ever. I am so grateful for women in my life, for your generosity, your persistence, and your leadership. And today, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. Madam Toastmaster.